I went from looking like this to this in just 3 years. And here's literally a step-by-step, like literally brain dead step-by-step guide on how I achieved it. And I will tell you exactly how you can achieve it as well in maybe half the amount of time, just because I have been through all of it and I have been learning about all the techniques on how to get the aesthetic body. So let's get right into it. I've just made a Discord community where people who wanna get an aesthetic body, literally like step by step, I have everything included. I even have rewards for people, for the ones who have the best transformations and who has the best consistency, sleep cycle, and such things. So if you're interested, then go down and click the link in the description. So literally the first step that I want you to think about is the workout split that you are going to do. So a workout split is not just a workout split. There's different types of workout splits that suits some people better than others. So for example, for me, I play table tennis 3 to 4 times a week. That means that if I trained at the gym 4 to 6 times a week, I would not have the energy and the muscle, like my muscle wouldn't have recovered in time to be able to perform the best in table tennis. So that is exactly why I only train 2 times full body every single weekend. So what this means is that I may do low volume, like I don't train as often, but I train with high intensity. And that is exactly how I have gotten my physique. Because most people will think 2 times a week, that's like nothing. You can't grow muscles like that. That's what science says. But look at my body, and then like I'm natural. So you can ask yourself if this is how you actually want to do it, or if you just want to train 6 to 7 times a week and not have a life outside the gym. That can be up to you. But you don't have to train 6 to 7 times a week. You definitely can do it. And that's why we, among other things, have a split that's called a push-pull leg split. That's usually where you train 6 times a week. I personally wouldn't recommend it because you have to think about it. The gym is something that we want to do consistently for the rest of our lives. Because let me ask you a question. What will happen if you just trained, let's say 2 years, and you got the perfect physique of your life? Let's say that you could do that in 2 years. Would you then just stop going to the gym? Because that will be the same as a fat guy saying that he wants to lose weight. He loses the amount of weight that he needs to lose because he went on the right diet. And then all of a sudden, he just says, well, I have the perfect physique now. I have the physique that I wanted. So I can go back to eating unhealthy again. You would like fucking slap the fat guy's ass and tell him, so you just want to reset all your process. Like you literally just want to progress. So you just want to set yourself back to 0 or what the fuck. Like that's the exact same thing that you're telling yourself here just with the gym, bro. Think about that for a second. So you can do it if you want to, if you have the energy for it or the time for it, you can do that. Or you can do what I do, which is doing a full body workout split. You could do 3 times a week. That's what I definitely would recommend, because if you don't have any hobbies like table tennis, football, something like that outside of the gym and your social or daily life, then I would definitely recommend 3 times a week. That is the perfect amount. That's what I would have done if I could have done that. You can also combine it, so you could do upper lower splits combined with full body workout. So that means that you could Monday do upper, Tuesday lower, rest Wednesday, and then you could do a full body workout first day. So you have to think about that. So that's the action step right now. So before you watch any longer of this video, I want you to think about what suits your lifestyle the best. There's actually a story that I want to tell you that I'm very sad about that I've done. So I've been to something called it's basically a high school. So it's where I have lived together with people, where we eat together and we study together, you know, having classes together. So very good time. But anyway, there I trained 5 to 6 times a week. I did the push-pull leg split workout. But first of all, the problem with it was that I could never be consistent because I couldn't handle the amount of stress that it put on my muscles and my body. Second of all, I didn't have the energy for it. First of all, I didn't enjoy the gym anymore. I want you to know the gym should be enjoyable. It is actually fun to come up and train. Of course, sometimes you'll be unmotivated, but most of the time it will actually be fun. Furthermore, I actually made less gains training 5 to 6 times a week than when I trained 3 times a week, 2 times a week. How is this possible? I literally did the completely opposite of what bodybuilders tell us to do. So how did I gain more muscle? And I looked better only training 2 times a week. Because in that year, I basically made no progress. Of course I did, but I did make some progress, especially with my bench press. I made lots of progress on that. But I believe that I could have made way more progress with my muscle mass and the way that I looked if I had taken a different approach and doing something like an upper lower split or just full body 3 times a week. Because when you are a beginner, I will definitely recommend you to just focus on like the eccentric, or like not the eccentric, but of course the eccentric doing the exercise. But I will definitely recommend you to train the compound movements. So something like inclined bench press and squats and all of those different things. Learn those techniques. You can either watch my content, sometimes I talk about the form, or you can watch some other bodybuilders. They are really good at learning other people the form to do it. Anyway, the next step is actually to train the 6 aesthetic muscle groups. So we have 6 aesthetic muscle groups that we want to focus on to be the most attractive guy ever. And that is training the neck, the upper traps, upper chest, the delts, like your shoulders, specifically the rear and side delt, lateral delts. And then it is your abs, and then it is your lats. Of course, your arms is still important. We are still gonna train it. We just wanna focus more on these other 6 aesthetic muscle groups. And yes, you do have to train abs. I don't wanna discuss it. I don't wanna argue about it. You have to train it. It's a fucking muscle, dumbass. So let's go right into the exercises that we're gonna do. So the exercises that you're gonna do, like just follow specifically my plan. Like just shut the fuck up and listen, okay? Stop arguing about this because clearly I have a physique that you're interested in. So why not just listen to somebody who has more experience than you and who has accomplished more than you? So just listen, okay? So we wanna do, on the first workout, we wanna do some incline pressing movement. So that could be an incline barbell bench press. It could be an incline dumbbell bench press. It could be a machine bench press. You get what I'm saying. Just do it on an incline between 30 degrees or 45 degrees. Experiment and find out where your chest is getting activated the most. And again, search up the forms by some other people. The next exercise that I want you to do is either doing some pull-ups. If you can do a pull-up, don't worry. Buy assistant bands if you don't want to use money on that. Because you're a pussy and you don't want to get faster progress, then just use the lat pull down. It also gives to like the lats. I personally just found it out that I grew my lats way faster when I switched to doing pull-ups. But anyway, either do pull-ups or you can do shrugs. The thing that I wanted to say is of course the sets and the reps. Again, here you gotta choose. Do you want to do like low volume, high intensity, or do you want to do a high volume and low intensity? So that basically means the low volume is where you do less sets and less reps, but you can push more strength into it. So basically strength based workouts. Or you can do the high volume, which means that you're going to do more sets for each muscle groups, but you of course can't push as hard because your muscles are going to get more fatigued. So again, choose what suits best for you. Then we want to go directly into some smaller exercises where you only train like one muscle group, basically. So that is some lateral raises. Then after lateral raises, then we want to do some work on the biceps, and then you can end the session with some hanging leg raises. And again, if you can't do the exercise that I do, then just do something similar. or try an easier progression. Then the next workout, we want to focus more on our shoulders in the start of the workout. So that's where we do an overhead pressing movement. Either do it with dumbbells, barbell, standing, seated, I don't care. Just do some overhead pressing movement. After that, do either shrugs or do pull-ups. Like you gotta choose. Like one of the workouts you do shrugs, the other you do pull-ups. Then after that, we go into some rear delt, or actually I prefer to do lateral delts again first and then go to a rear delt exercise. It could be a reverse fly, and then after that I do some triceps. I do some skull crushers overhead. That's what I prefer, and that is basically it. If you still have the energy, then you can focus more on abs. Again, I would focus more on like your weak points. That is basically the tip. And the last thing that I want to say is that when you do small muscle group exercises like lateral raises, get a little bit higher rep range, so around 10 to 12, or you can even do 12 to 15. Again, found out what works best for you. Then I quickly just want to talk about the importance of diet and the sleep. So of course we need recovery, because when we are at the gym, we break down, we tear our muscles apart. So of course it makes sense that our diet and our sleep is what builds back our muscles stronger. Okay, so I want you to understand one thing. The diet is important, and it is important what you eat. Eat a lot of eggs, meat, eat lots of vegetable fruits, that's still good, but focus more on high protein sources which are natural. How do you know that it's natural? You know a food is natural basically when there is fewer ingredients. So the less ingredients, the better. Usually that's like 1 ingredient to like 3, 5. Again, have less. So natural foods could be like nuts. Like if you look on the back side and you read what there is in it, it will literally just say nuts. That's how specific it should be. Potato, it's just potatoes. It grows from the fucking ground. It's not processed or anything. Sleep, get 7 to 9 hours. I will definitely hope that you will get more than 8. That is usually when we, according to studies, recover the best and we build most muscle. So if you enjoyed this video, I know I'm kind of quickly going through this, but if you want more information, then you can just see some of my other videos. I have plenty of them. Just go through my channel and see it. So if you enjoyed this kind of content, then go down and click subscribe, and it will be amazing. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day. And of course, remember that today's efforts makes tomorrow's success.